It is January 21st, and we're going to go over some market movers, a list of 15 big gainers and then one big loser. And I've noticed that it's a lot of the same, some revised on here, some Arabian Nights, and some Urza's Saga as well, so something to look out for there. Our first on the list is actually a showcase card from Kaldheim. This is Valky, God of the Lies, and this is up 28.49% from $34.99 to $44.96. Now, this is based on pre-release pricing, so I'm expecting this to go down a lot. Corpse Dance. This is from Tempest. This is a reserve list card. This is up 31.05% from $28.99 to $37.99. And the next one on our list here is Halvar, God of Battle. This is another showcase card. This is up 35.90% from $15.18 to $20.63. Now, a lot of this is based on pre-release pricing, so I expect a lot of these to go down, especially any sort of showcase or extended art versions of cards. Spiritual Sanctuary. This is a Legends card, another reserve list card. This is up 36.38% from $21.99 to $29.99. Now, this is actually at an all-time high, I believe, and the fact that it's also Legends, smaller print run, it's going to spike more in the future. Over Master, this is Torment. This is not a reserve list card. This is up 40.52% from $3.43 to $4.82. Now, this is nowhere near its all-time high of in 2013, but it looks like it wants to get back there. But it's not a reserve list card, so it's still fairly cheap, but I don't know if this is going to remain the price that it is. Days Undoing Magic Origin, this is 40% up from $7.99 to $11.25. Now, this was one of the best mythics in Magic Origins, but it's still nowhere near its highest price point when it was in Standard, and I don't expect to see it ever going to that price, but either way, it's a good card in Commander. Guardian Beast, Arabian Nights. This is a reserve list card, and it's from Arabian Nights, so this is up 44% from $449.95 to $647.92. Now, Arabian Nights was the first Magic the Gathering expansion, so a lot of hard assets for Magic collectors. Near mint and above will be very, very hard to find, and the fact it's also reserve list means it's going to be spiking even further. Brain Geyser Revised Edition. This is up 45.21% from $67.48 to $97.99. Now, this was on our list a few times in the last week or so, and this is also a reserve list card, but it's also one of the cards that brought to my attention the fact that revised cards are no longer seen as that heavily print run set. It's looking like a lot of these cards want to get up to prices of Unlimited. Copy Artifact. This is another revised card. This is a reserve list and revised card. Almost got those words mixed together. This is at 55.79% from $99.49 to $155. Now, it is revised, which means there's a lot of copies out there, so I wouldn't be paying these prices. I imagine this will come back down to reality when the reserve list buyouts calm down. Oppression from 7th edition. This is up 68.11% from $17.84 to $29.99. Now, one of the reasons why this is actually going up is it's one of the most used cards in mono black Commander, whether it's Canadian Highlander or just another version of Commander. Good in any sort of discard outlet deck, like a Pox deck. Those work very well in. Birds of Paradise Revised Edition. This is up 91.57% from $23.62 to $45.25. Now, this is not a reserve list card. This is revised. There's a lot of copies out there, and Birds of Paradise is a card that's been printed in multiple sets. Probably one of the most printed creatures in Magic the Gathering. And so I don't know if I'd be paying these prices. I think this is just a bit of FOMO that's playing into the market right now. Surtland Flinger, this is Kaldheim, so this is one of the newer cards. This is up 98% from $10.60 to $20.99. Now, I'm not sure why this is spiking right now. If there is any card that this plays off with and maybe a combo, please let me know in the comments, because Kaldheim is still not out yet, so a lot of these could just be pre-release manipulation. Time Spiral from Urza's Saga. This is a reserve list card. This is up 98.70% from $145.95 to $290. Now, I love this card because they built a whole set around the name of this card, and it's a reserve list card, great in Commander. It's going to see a lot of play, but I don't know if I'd be buying in at an all-time high right now. Eladamri, Lord of the Leaves, great Elf Commander. This is a reserve list card up 113.85% from $37.63 to $80.47. Now, Tempest was the block that ran a lot of tribal and had a lot of reserve list cards. This is one of the first sets that had legends in them. So one of these particular copies, if a near mint or above, will see a pretty good premium in the future. I don't know if I'd be buying at these all-time highs. These used to be like a $20 card not so long ago. And our first on the list is Oppression. We just saw it, the 7th edition version, but this is the Urza Saga version now, following suit, going up as well. 126% from 1449 to 3280. Now, I mentioned that one of the reasons why this card could be going up is that it sees a lot of play in mono black commander decks and a lot of discard decks. But if there's any other specific reason apart from that this card's going up, I would love to read it in the comments below if you have a little bit more insight on as to why this card is going up. I usually use MTG Top 8 and MTG Goldfish to see cards and new decks that could be spiking for those reasons. But sometimes it's just people just building commander decks, and there's a lot of buyouts in the ether as well. Today's biggest loser, let's take a look. Elvish Promenade. This is just on our list recently for one of the biggest gainers. And this is down now 46.55% from 1057 to 565. So this is obviously a bit of a retraction. Usually when cards hit these all-time highs, there's going to be a bit of a pullback in the next day or so or a week. And it's not a reserve list card, so a lot of it's just manipulation and listings that are priced at higher than they actually should be. So these are some of my final thoughts on the market. So we are still seeing the reserve list buyouts, which are happening, and a lot of it's FOMO. And if you're someone who's prone to having FOMO, especially when it comes to financials, I would say just wait a bit. I don't think a lot of these cards are going to hold anywhere near these prices. Eventually, they'll be going back down to reality the way that they did in 2018. If you guys recall all those reserve list buyouts back then, a lot of them came crashing down. But there is certain staples that are obviously going to keep going up, but they haven't really showed up on this list too much. But revised dual lands, I think those are going to continue to go up. Incrementally. There's not going to be any massive buyouts necessarily in these dual lands, but I imagine each one of them will be at around $1,000 in the next couple of years. I don't know if it's going to happen within 2 years or 10 years or 5 years, but there's, without any doubt in my mind, those will go up a lot in the future. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Market Movers.